Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am so excited because we have the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. We're going to be doing a review, a wear test, first impressions on this one today. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright, so this is Charlotte's new Beautiful Skin Foundation. This was just released this past week on January 5th. I ordered directly from her website, which I highly recommend. If you're ordering something from the brand, their shipping is so fast. So highly recommend their shipping. So this retails for $44 US, 55 Canadian. This is a Science and Color Innovation Foundation. This is supposed to be a medium coverage, and it's also supposed to be a very glowy foundation. This includes hyaluronic acid and brightening rose complex to improve the look of skin every time you wear it. And skin looks radiant, plump, and smooth. And this is available in 30 shades. So this foundation has a lot of pretty bold claims. So I'm just going to check the website really quickly. So this claims to be beautifully radiant by 285%, beautifully hydrated by 166%, skin looks beautifully plumper and smoother by 181%. Skin tone appears more even by up to 210%. 90% agree that the foundation helps minimize the appearance of pores, pigmentation, and dark spots. And 90% also agree that the foundation improves the appearance of skin with each wear. So I'm definitely down for that. I'm definitely into a product that is going to improve the look of my skin over time. I believe I heard that she actually worked on this foundation for 3 years, so I think that's really exciting. So this is the actual bottle. It comes in one of these squeezy tubes, and it does have a pump, but it's also very elegant and typical Charlotte Tilbury style. So the only foundation I have to compare it to is the Airbrush Flawless, which is not a favorite of mine. It's too dry on my dry skin, and the shade I don't really like. But for this one, I picked up the shade 2 Neutral. So I'm not actually going to prime today. I want to see how it kind of behaves on its own. I did use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream though as my moisturizer today. Okay, and I'm just going to take a little pump on my palette as I do. Alright, so one side of my face I'm going to do with a damp sponge, the other side I'm going to do with a brush to see what the better mode of application is. So, okay, I guess I'll just do the sponge on this side. And I feel like we're starting to see a lot more foundations that do include skincare, a lot of more multi-purpose makeup, which I think is really exciting. I think this shade match is a really good one for me as well. If you are looking for swatches of all of the shades, I would highly recommend checking out Megan Lombardi. She used to be a makeup artist for Charlotte Tilbury, but now she does her own kind of freelance thing. But I think they must have sent her every single shade. She has a video up on her channel. She did just do, I don't think she did like a wear test or anything like that, but she did try it on. She also found that her favorite way to apply the foundation was with your fingers. I do not like applying foundation with my fingers. It's just a personal preference. So I'm not going to do that. But I'll just let you guys know that that is an option with this one if you're into that. And this seems to be going on quite nicely. It's definitely blending out really nicely. I'm quite happy with the shade match. And it's definitely a medium coverage. I do want to see if I can get a little bit more on my cheeks up here because that's a bit of a problem area. I do tend to get really red up there. This is looking quite nice so far. It's definitely got a glow to it, which I enjoy. As somebody with dry skin, I do tend to appreciate products that give me a bit of a glow. I really like how that looks. It's definitely got a glow to it, but it's also quite flawless looking. Let's go in on the other side with a brush. I'm just going to take my Merit foundation brush. I've just been essentially married to this brush for a while now. And I'm just kind of stippling the brush, lightly pushing the product into the skin. And another nice thing about a brush is that you do you often do get a little bit more coverage than you would with a sponge because, you know, the sponge does tend to eat the product. One thing I'm noticing as well is that the shade of this one, it doesn't seem to be pulling yellow as well, which is huge points for me. That was a major deduction on the Airbrush Flawless, because if it's labeled as for cooler undertones, it should not pull yellow. It should pull a little bit more pink, if anything. This definitely does feel very light on the skin as well. It even works well to just buff it in. It's looking very, very flawless. Wow, okay. So I have a really bad dry patch right here, and it's not clinging to that at all. I'm also pretty dry right in here, and it's not clinging there either. And almost all foundations do that. Almost all of them. So that's major points for this one. I do think I prefer it with a brush. I'm just gonna add a little bit more to each side. I just want a little bit more coverage. My skin is just really not happy with me these days. That's okay. Okay, so I will say, one thing I'm noticing right away, the side with the sponge has a bit more glow to it. The side with the brush also does have like a really nice healthy glow, but the side with the sponge I feel like has a little bit more. It does feel a bit tacky. Like it definitely feels damp, like there's makeup on there. So I might let it dry down a little bit, but I may have to throw on some powder. I just personally can't handle the feeling of tacky foundation, and that's not the product. This is a liquid foundation. It's usually going to have some tack to it. So that is not at all the fault of the product. Yeah, I'm really loving how this is making my skin look. It's definitely a medium coverage. I do find I'm not getting a ton of coverage. I am having to build it up in certain areas, but I mean, I don't always need a ton of coverage. Just lately I'm a bit of a hot mess. So adding a little bit to my chin. My chin hates accepting product for whatever reason. All right, I really like the look of this so far. This is a really pretty foundation. I think the shade match is quite good as well. It's definitely making me look more even and more perfected. I am going to throw in a little bit of powder because it's a more glowy product. It's not going to dry down that much. I'm just going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder, and I'm really just going to go in on the perimeter because I don't want to lose a lot of that glow. Okay, so I did lose quite a bit of the glow when I powdered it down, but that's okay. It still looks very flawless, and it does play very, very nicely with the powder as well. I completely forgot to do concealer before foundation. I'm just going to go in with my Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer because that's what's in my project pan right now. Okay guys, so I just finished my makeup off camera really quickly. Most of the makeup I used is my project pan makeup, so nothing new or special there. I'm really liking this so far. I love how easily it blended out both with a sponge and the brush. I love how it really just evened out the skin. It's definitely a more medium coverage, and it's not the most buildable in my opinion. It did what I wanted it to do. It built up nicely, but I definitely couldn't get a really full coverage. However, I really liked how it just really evened everything out. And my absolute favorite part of this foundation is that it did not cling to my dry spots. I have two spots that no matter what foundation I use, no matter what combination of products, no matter how good I prep the skin, those spots cling onto makeup. This did not cling to those spots. It still looks really nice, really healthy, really smooth in those spots. So that is a huge win for me. I am really excited about that part. Overall, everything feels really nice. I did powder it down with the Flawless Finish, with the Airbrush Flawless powder, and it definitely did take away some of the glow. I added that back in with my highlight, but overall, this is a very comfortable foundation. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look cakey in any of the areas where I had to build up coverage. It's just looking really, really nice. So I'm really happy with this so far. I really liked the application. I really liked how it worked with my products. So far, everything is gold on this one. This is a really nice foundation so far. Now it is currently 1:43 p.m. so I am going to be wearing this until about 10 or 11 tonight, and then I might pop in between then, but I am going to give you an update at the end. I'll let you know how it wore. I don't really think I'm doing much today. I'm just going to be at home bouncing around doing some chores and of course editing some videos, but I'm still going to let you know how it wears, how it holds up. This is supposed to be good for 16 hours. I'm not going to be wearing it for that long, but we're going to get at least a good 8 to 9 hours out of this. So I will see you guys in a little bit with my updates. Alright guys, so we are now at about the 4-hour mark, and the foundation is still looking really, really good. It still doesn't feel like I have anything on my skin. It doesn't feel at all heavy. It's holding up really nicely. I did take a nap, and that really didn't mess it up too much. I've also eaten dinner, and that didn't mess it up too much. Obviously my lip is gone, but that is perfectly fine. Checking out my dry spots a little bit. They are looking a little drier than they were initially, but still nothing crazy. Still not nearly as bad as they look when I immediately apply some other foundations. So this is definitely looking to be a very, very dry skin friendly foundation, so I'm really happy with that. Overall, it's still looking pretty fresh, still feels really nice. It's super, super lightweight on the skin, I will say that, so that's a big plus for me. And just because my dry spots just don't look that bad, and I fully expected them to, I'm really impressed with this so far. So I'm definitely going to keep wearing this, and I will check in with you guys at the end of the night and let you know how the foundation held up all day. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Alright you guys, so it is the end of the night. The makeup is pretty well expired, as am I. So we've definitely got, you know, the makeup is definitely worn off. This cheek in particular and my chin, but that is because I was laying on the couch and we had a bit of a movie night, but otherwise, I'm really happy with this foundation. I think it's going to be such a gem for those with dry skin. I'm testing this in the middle of winter with my already dry skin, and I'm very happy. The area between my eyes still looks good. My dry patch right here still looks good as well. On this side, we can see that the foundation hasn't worn off as much, and the glow is still going, but it's not like an oily glow. It's like just like a healthy, natural kind of looking glow, and I really like that. Otherwise, in the areas where I wasn't sleeping, everything else has held up really, really well. My skin still feels very comfortable, not too dry, not anything like that. So I'm so far super happy with this foundation. I think I'm really going to continue to enjoy this one. This has been a really successful wear test. Again, I love the packaging. I think it's beautiful. The wear was really good. I put it through its paces, so I have only good things to say so far. Again, one thing that I think is a huge weakness of Charlotte Tilbury when it comes to her brand is when it comes to foundations specifically, is the shades. I don't think she really has foundation shades down. They're just a little off, and like I mentioned in her Airbrush Flawless, the 3 Cool pulls yellow, and that's really the opposite of what it should do. It just doesn't make any sense. This seemed to be a lot better. Again, I picked up the shade 2 Neutral, so if you're around my skin tone, you might really enjoy this. Overall, not a super buildable foundation. That's okay. It's definitely a medium coverage. It's going to be amazing for dry skin. It definitely leaves your skin looking and feeling really healthy. It's very lightweight. It's got a very skin-like finish overall, and it's definitely going to be hydrating. Again, those dry spots, I don't even know they're there today, so this foundation is getting a huge thumbs up from me. I'm obviously going to continue to wear this. I'll update you guys more in a speed reviews video at the end of the month, but overall this has been a very successful wear test, and I'm so excited to keep playing with this one. And that is where we will leave it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful if you're still on the fence about this foundation. Thank you again so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you will consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. And that is it for me today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!